Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A CloudFoundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
First of all, the PIP thing. Think of PIP like basically whenever you want to install in a library any third-party library or let's say any Python library. PIP is the command. It is the tool from which you will install the library. Let's say you want to Google something. You want some. Basically, let's say you are searching for something. Let's say you are searching for any meaning. Or let's say else. What you will do in the first place, you will open Chrome or any web browser, and then you will type for HL7 FHIR or HL7 whatever you want to search for, and then that engine will give you the response. Similarly in Python, let's say we want something any third-party library. Python is a programming language, and a programming language can include libraries to do some of the tasks. Let me. Think of this like a programming language we are using. Let's say we are using Python for now. This is our Python programming language, and this is our lines of code. You're able to get it. Now let's see, we want to perform some operation. Let's say we want to perform an addition. What we will do? We will write some few more lines of code to perform addition. Let's say we want to do addition. We will write code to do addition. Just think of it like, visualize it virtually. This is our Python script temp, and this is our lines of code for doing addition between two numbers. Getting it? Now for now, we are taking an example of addition. Addition, let's say addition, is containing 100 lines of code. 100 lines of code is there to perform only addition. We are just considering. Imagine like this, we are doing addition and there's 100 lines of code to do addition. What if we make a package out of it and put it somewhere else? And whenever we need these lines of code, we will import this in our Python program. Will it be done into two lines? One is the import function, which we will write here, and second is we will call the addition function, which we have imported. Getting one point. And we are storing that 100 lines of code in the form of single line. And a form of a package. We are storing 100 lines of code in a form of package. That package will be called library. Library birale. Let's say we have some functionality here in our script, which have 100 and thousands line of code, and We want to basically not write the whole code. What we will do is people already are using this code. People have created some of the libraries for it. What we will do? We will just import that library in our script within a one-liner thing, and we will directly use the library. Let's say a library has thousands lines of code in which they have few functions. Let's say we have add function. We have also subtract function. We have a multiplication function. Getting my point? What I'm trying to convey? Coming again. Once again, we have our Python script. In that, let's say we want to do some functionality. That functionality already many people are using in the world. If many people are using at least some might have created a package out of it. If, let's say, 1,000 people are already using it, 1,000 people won't write the 1,000th line of code again and again. They might have created a package out of it, and they might have hosted it somewhere on the internet. What we will do is, we will do smart work. Instead of writing the 1,000 lines of code on our own, what we will do is we will grab that code as a form. We will grab that library from the internet. We will import that library in our Python script. We will install that library basically, and then we will use the functionality. Similarly, think of the library as a Flask library. We have a Flask library. This library is a vast library and it has some functions. Let's say we have a JSONify function, which will convert our response into JSON format, the dictionary into JSON format. And we have one more. Let's say we have a request method or request function in our Flask application and some more. There can be hundreds and thousands of functions in this. Getting my point? What we will do is basically we will install this Flask library in our machine. And from Flask, we will import this library whatever is needed for our use. Similarly, if you can see here on line number first, you can see, can you read and understand what I'm doing here on line number 1? Yes, can you tell us? That doing the format of JSON. Basically, let's say we have a Flask library already installed in our system. And how do we install Flask library? By using the pip tool. Let's say we are using any mobile device or or a computer or something. What we do, we search for the application and we install it using our Play Store or App Store. You're correct. Like a pip will act as a Play Store or App Store for our Python script. Although we will not be able to see all the libraries there, but what we can do is we can quickly go to internet. What we can do is we can search for PIP Flask. That's it. The first website, that is the PP. This will open and we will get the command to install Flask pip. Install Flask. Basically what we'll do, it will install Flask in our machine. Getting it? We are installing basically Flask in our machine. We have installed Flask already now. If you see this a sample example, the sample example here. What here it is doing is from Flask. It is importing the Flask library. It is telling that basically from Flask folder, import with a Flask library. And that Flask library can also contain multiple functions and all. Such as JSON, if I request, etc., etc. Whatever we need, we will basically import those functions. Getting my point? Ram Charan, any confusion or doubt in this, guys? Anything which you are not getting, it's doing above your head or something. Basically, it is a Flask library we are importing. Basically, once we have installed the Flask in our system, there may be a folder created for it similar to in our Android phone. Whenever we install something, there is a folder created for the same. In our File Explorer, we have a folder for it where all the data is stored regarding that application. Have you seen that? Similarly, when we are installing something, let's say we are installing Flask. Our Flask named folder will be created in our machine. Let me show you that folder as well. If you see this virtual environment, in this libraries, this lib folder, we have this packages. In this packages, we have multiple packages. Do we just need to find where is our Flask package? I think that this is not installed in this virtual environment. That's fine. I have installed it globally. It's in my machine but not in virtual environment. That's fine. There are two types of installation we do. Let's say you have a phone and you are installing an application. Let's say you are installing a game to play. And that game only you want to play and not your child or not your niece or nephew. No one should play that game because that is your personal game. They will spoil your score or something. What you will do? Lock it. You can lock it, but let's say in our script, we do not have an option to lock it. What I will do is basically I will install the game in my user. You know, in phone we can create multiple users, guest user and the main user and all. What I will do is whenever I am operating the phone, I will unlock the phone using my user, but whenever my niece is opening the phone on, my nephew is opening the phone, they will unlock it using the guest user. In guest user profile, they have not, like you have not installed the application or the game. They won't be able to see that. One second, guys. Got. Similarly, basically in Python, what we do is we have two types of installation. One is our machine installation. That is our root. Every user can access that installed library. And one is virtual environment. In that if we install a library inside a virtual environment, when we will activate that virtual environment, at that time only we can access that library, else that won't be accessible on root level. You're getting my point. Now again, can you try to explain me what is basically a virtual environment? Is it a run through web applications? Virtual environment is basically a kind of environment in which you are, let's say, let me not date that. That would be good. Let's say this is your machine and you have few virtual environments. Virtual environment 1, virtual environment 2, virtual environment 3. And there are some packages installed into this virtual environment. Let's say there are 4 packages installed in this virtual environment. There are 5 packages installed in this. There are 10 packages installed in this virtual environment. These 4 packages consist of Flask or Django or anything. This 5 consists of my ML libraries, machine learning libraries, or this 10 consists of my some other project libraries. Well, I want this 10 libraries to be included in this Flask project when I'm writing my script, because they are of no use to my Flask application now. There are some other random libraries which I don't want to be included. If I install this 10 libraries onto my root level, this is my, let's see, this is my computer. And these are the libraries already installed on my computer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this. This 5 libraries plus this 4 libraries, there are total 9 libraries. This program can access if I activate this virtual environment. And let's say if I activate this virtual environment, this 5 plus 5, 10 libraries total my program can access. And these are the 10 plus this 5. If I activate this virtual environment, there are total 15 libraries my script can access. And this virtual environments are totally independent of like on itself. We don't want to use any other library if you are activating a virtual environment. Let's say if I'm not using virtual environment and I installed all of these libraries on my root level, do you think this will be like feasible for us? Because in our system, every script of ours can access at least 10, 15 and 19 plus 5. That means 24 libraries. My script can access. But I don't want it because whenever I'm running a Python script, all of those libraries will be loaded first and that loading will take time. That will make my Python script slower. Getting my point? Getting it, guys? Let me clear this thing. Now you're getting why we are importing and this, why we are using from Flask, import this library. Getting it now, why we are using this thing. Now coming back to the virtual environment thing. You're not getting my point why we are importing these libraries and what exactly is a from Flask statement. Basically, we are telling the script that from Flask folder, import my useful libraries. Similarly, I can do some other from some other folders also. From, let's say from Django. This is also one of the framework import. What should I import? and views and models. There are no model apps. Like this, we can import from other libraries. Getting my point? This is not useful. This is just an example for you. Now you might be wondering, now you got it. PIP is. Let me show you a quick demo. And how we activate the virtual environment. This is our virtual environment. Let's go to that path. Now you're seeing that within this path. Now let me activate the virtual movement. First, we will go to that path and activate it. Now you're seeing a virtual environment in bracket is visible here in my terminal. Earlier it was not. If you see in this folder, virtual environment folder in bin, I have an activate script. This script, getting it. Now if you're able to see, this virtual environment is activated in my Python script. Now I can use any library which is installed within this virtual environment and also which is installed in my root environment. Getting my point? And how we will check if that library is installed or not in the library folder within this virtual environment. If you can see, we have a library folder in this. We have site packages where we can see all our libraries which are installed. This is FHIR library. This is FHIR client library, HL7 library, P library. And then we have a request library, a URL lib library, many libraries. You are able to see, we do not have a Django here now. You are able to see in the packages. Can you see, is there a Django present somewhere? A, B, C, and then we have D, and then again we have this E alphabet starting. Can you see Django is there? I don't see. Now let me show you how we can install Django. We will use the command to install and then the name of the library. Here PIP, is it like a Play Store to install libraries? Yes. Now can you see in the site packages? Here in the site packages, once we are done, successfully installed Django, ESI, ESGI, R, AF and S school parts. These three libraries it installed, but why three? We only gave it the command to install PIP, install Django. Because the thing is, these are all its supporting libraries for Django. For Django itself, these are the supporting libraries. These two are the supporting libraries and this is their versions. This is Django version 5.5. This is SQL parts and its version is 0.53. Now coming back to the point now. Earlier you are not able to see Django. Are you able to see Django now? Django 4. You're able to see. This is our main folder. This contains all the. Within this folder, we have all the libraries which we can use from Django. If you see where from, if we let's say we want to use dispatch from here, what do we will write? I will tell the command to the script that from Django folder import. That's not import is. That bring me dispatch. And dispatch has some lines of code written in it. You can see this. Lines of code, hundreds of lines of code. This content 494 lines of code. Use of this, we need to install libraries. Instead of writing this whole code by myself, will it be easier for me to just import this from some other source? Like instead of you doing all the manual work, you building your own house brick by brick, would you be relying on an engineer to do that? Similarly, instead of writing the whole lines of code on our own, what we will do? We will take help from the library. That library already contains that much amount of code which is sufficient for us. We will basically, if we go and write this whole code, we have to write almost 494 lines of code. But if you can see, what I have done is we have installed the package, and within one line of code, I can use this dispatch function. Is it like feasible for me? Is it reliable for me? Getting my point? Let's install Flask in this virtual environment also. You are able to see Flask in this virtual environment. GH. Let's install pip install. You can see the messages successfully installed Ginger to markup safe, where it's like blink a click, and this is the Flask, and it's dangerous. Is it? All of these are supporting libraries. Now can you see a Flask folder here created in the libraries? This Flask folder has some of the methods. Able to see. Getting my point? Basically, what we will do is we will import everything, whatever we need from the Flask thing, from the Flask folder. Now, getting my point? Instead of like writing this whole amount of code, now what we have done is we have basically included a library, and we will use that library now. Got. Close this. Let me remove this thing as well. Now, you are asking about this app is equal to Flask underscore name. But if you see in our Python script, what we write is if underscore name. This is a dunder method. This is called a dunder method. You can, there is a task for you guys. Can you read more about the dunder method? And also read about this thing. Why we use if name is equals to main. I'm what I'm I will give you a basic idea whenever this statement is there. Our Python script will like think of it as a starting point. If our Python script sees this line, this statement, if name is equal to main, our Python script will consider it as the starting point of our application. This script, everything it will not execute first until and unless we call all of these functions will it be executed. These are just a piece of text if you do not call these functions. If at this line, if underscore name is equal to underscore main, whenever our Python script will see this statement, it will consider it as the starting point. Once it has seen the starting point, the next line to it will execute that line first. What is the next line? App.run and debug is equal to true. These are at the debug is equal to true parameter, and app.run means it is starting our application, our Flask application. Once our Flask application is started, it will give us a port number, a server address, at which we can access the routes. If you see the route /delete/key, or let's say it's /read/key, /update/key, these are all the routes. Once we are on this route, we will be able to access this method. If you can see, we are not calling the method anywhere in our program. You are aware of how to call these functions within our program. Yes? We used to do like this create function, or let's say update function. We used to call it like this. But in Flask, what we will do is we will let the Flask application handle the calling of our function. We will run the application, and when we will run the application, it will give us a server address, a port number. It will tell us that, guys, this is your port number. Whenever you will use that port number, along with the route, you will be calling the method, the function, basically. And we are also assigning the method type which we will be using. If I try to run this script Python, what is this? Can you see now? Once I run this script, I'm telling Python, and then the script. Basically, it is running my Python script. You can see serving Flask app. This is my file name. Debug mode on Y. Because we give debug is equal to true and debug mode, we keep it in our development phase. Debug mode, we keep on in our development phase. But we are developing an application. We will keep the debug mode on for our development thing. Now it is again giving you a warning. This is a development server. Do not use it in a production deployment. This is a development server. This will only be specific to your machine. And this also gave us our port number along with the server address. This is HT2SA.1:5000. Whenever I will hit this point, hit this URL, it is basically accessing my Flask application. Let me stop this thing. I'm writing one more method here. Tello. No parameterized value. What I am returning. And I'm routing it as a subroute. /hello. Now I am assigning the method. Now I'm running the Flask application again. Now when I visit this website, you can see there is a not found error. That means the requested URL was not found on the server. But when I will use the slash, hello, now you're seeing what you are able to see. Hello Ram and Charan. This is basically the root. How this was created? I don't understand. If you see, we have a root slash hello. And this is our development server address. If you combine both of them, the server address and the slash hello will take us to the hello function. And in hello function, what we are doing? We are just returning a string. Hello Ram and Charan. Getting my point? Now let's see if I change the root to a hello/1. And I restart this server. What do you think will happen when I will refresh this page? What do you think will happen when I refresh this page? Now the router. Now our route is hello/1. Not found. Not found exactly. And because it will not find the path to call the function. And there is no function defined on this path. Now we have changed the route to hello/1. Whenever we will route to this address, it will give us our desired output. Getting my point? By doing rotate, we'll get created a website. No. Route is basically, let's say you have a path to your home. Let's say you are working in your organization. And someone gave you a path that turn left and turn. And you will reach to your home. You will follow that path and you will go to your home. Similarly, this is the route. We are telling that go to hello and then go to 1 and then you will reach to the hello function. If you go to hello and if you go to 1, we will reach to the our hello function. Getting my point? Understanding it, guys? Any confusion or doubt in this getting, like, is it going over your head or something? Not like that. All the things we have discussed today when like new to us. That's though at least now you have a basic idea of what these things are. What is route? What is this dunder method? Like, this is a starting point of our application. Let's say you are running a race from A point to B point. Whenever someone tells you that you have to run a race from A point to B point, you will consider A point as the starting point. Wherever you will see the logo of A, you will consider that as the starting point of your race. Similarly, wherever this statement, our program, will find this equal consider address as the starting point, and then everything will start after this thing. If you see, if I print hello, this is the first statement. And I run this thing. Can you see? It is printed here. This is first. This is my first statement. When I executed the command python sample rest a pi flash p, this is the first thing it printed because it considered this as the starting point of our program. And just after starting point, what we are doing? We are printing this statement, and then again after that, what we are doing? We are running our Flask application. Like, if you want to give another command, you need to give again the same thing. Like if name has to give it. No, it is. It is the starting point. It should be only one time. Everything will start after this. And if this is not present, in some cases you will see this for dunder method is not present. Whatever program will do, it will print wherever it first called the print statement, or let's say any handler. Let's say if you're not using this is my second statement. And if I run this thing, now can you see this is my second statement. And after this is my first statement. If this is not present, also our program will run as usual. But just to like developers know that everything will start after this thing. Just like if you are developing the application, if multiple persons are developing the application and we are just starting it from anywhere, will it be feasible for other developers to understand that thing? What we have done? Because they will struggle to find a starting point of the application. Let's say if I am the developer, I am starting my application from here. This is my third starting point. If I try to run this application, my application will start from here. This is my third starting point. And then my application will print this thing. And then my application will print this thing. When this is my doing. I started off a script in between of the script itself. When you are developing it, will you face struggle finding the starting point? Where is it within the lines of code? This is a less amount of code, but let's say it is thousands of lines of code. Will you struggle finding the starting point of the application? In this scenario, what we do is basically we introduce this dunder method. It implies that whenever you see this thing, this is our starting point and everything we will add after this thing. If we add after this, it will also execute. This will also execute. This will also execute. Whatever we want to do, you just do after this dunder method. That is the starting point. Getting my point? If you see, now our program started. This is the first statement, second, and then our app started because this is the sequence. Guys, any confusion or doubt in this? Why we are using underscore? Underscore name is equals to main. Basically, we are telling other people that this is our starting point of the application. You can navigate to anything from here. And we understood root. You are getting this name is equals to main. You are getting now what this path is called. And what method is? This is the HTTP verb. We are using the HTTP verb get. Basically, we are getting the data. We are not sending anything. Great. I think you are in a good shape now. Now take some more time to learn more about Flask. Go and watch some few more sample videos. Will you be able to do that, guys? Now you are at least having the baseline to start from. I want you, basically to both of you guys, I want you guys to go through more of the Flask videos, understand it fully. Not that much level that you need to go into the depth of it, but at least you should be able to understand the basics of it. Now we are starting the Flask application. Now you are aware of the PIP. Now you are also aware of the virtual environment. You might be not confusing there. And again, one more thing, create a virtual environment. There is a command that is python -mvinv. And this is the name of our virtual environment. We can give anything, that is the RAM space. When I enter this thing, you can see a virtual environment is created. Let me show you that virtual environment quickly. You can see this RAM space here, this folder. When I activate this folder, let me first deactivate the virtual environment, current virtual environment. How I got to know that this is activated? By looking at the initials of this. Within the parentheses, it is denoting me that this virtual environment is activated. What I will type deactivate. It will deactivate. Now I will again type source./RAM space. And then I will go to bin and then I will run the activate script. It will activate me your virtual environment. Now again coming back to the virtual environment thing. Do you see now a Flask library here installed? Flask Django or anything. Because this is your own space. Whatever you want to use, whatever libraries you want to use, such as Flask Django, you install it on your own. How? By doing keep installed. If installed, let's say we are doing Flask. This will install the Flask libraries and along with it, it will install the dependencies of it. These are all the dependencies. Now you are able to see in the RAM space, you are able to see the Flask library. Getting it? Getting my point? What I am trying to say, that virtual environment gives you your own space. To basically install whatever libraries you want, that other programs won't access those libraries. That other programs, when we are running the other programs, they will not load these libraries. Let's say you are running on a heavy model, machine learning model, or let's say you're running an AI model. That consumes a lot of space and lot of memory of your system. And you don't want other scripts to consume that memory. You will create a virtual environment. You will install all the libraries in that environment. And whenever you want to work on that project, machine learning or AI model project, you will activate that virtual environment and access those libraries. Getting my point? Great. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.